Kansiris presents .NET interview questions. Question number 3. What is CLR in .NET? Before we continue, please subscribe for updates by clicking the button here. CLR, which is called as Common Language Runtime. CLR contains the following components: Security Manager, JIT Compiler, Memory Manager, Garbage Collector, Exception Manager, Common Language Specifications, and CTS, which is Common Type Systems. Let us discuss each component in detail, okay, so you understand what is CLR. Security Manager, which is the initial most component of CLR. The Security Manager first checks the privileges of the current users, that the user is allowed to access the assembly or not. This security feature is meant for protecting the entire assembly and not to be accessed by the unauthorized user. JIT compiler is responsible for converting MSIL code into the native code that is executed by the machine. Native code is directly understandable by system hardware. Memory Manager. The Memory Manager component allows the necessary memory for the variables and objects that are to be used by the application. Garbage Controller. The component disallows the unnecessary memory of the application after the usage automatically. In older languages such as C and C++, this kind of component is not available, so that the programmer should free up the memory explicitly using some code. Exception Manager. This component redirects the processor to execute, catch, or finally block whenever an exception has occurred at runtime. CLS, which is one of the major components in .NET Framework. CLS is a part of CLR. .NET supports many programming languages, and every programming language has its own specification rules for writing the code, which is known as language specifications. That is, every programming language has its own language specifications. One programming language cannot understand the other language. Statistical syntactical rules, which is also called as language specifications. But CLR will execute all the programming language. This is possible because CLR cannot understand any programming language specification. Rather, CLR has its own language specification, syntactical rules for its MSIL. Every language compiler should follow these language specifications of CLR at the time of compilations and should generate MSIL MLR's JIT compiler, which generates native code for MSIL. These language specifications of CLR is common for all programming languages code execution of .NET, and it is known as CLS. The roles of CLS are: it provides language interoperability. This can be achieved by two ways. One is managed code and unmanaged code. Providing code execution supports that has been written in other languages is known as language interoperability. Managed code. If the MSIL code is generated by the language compiler after compilation, then it is called as managed code, and this managed code is directly executed by CLR. The code execution process is known as managed code execution. CLR will provide all the facilities and features of the .NET to managed code execution, like language interoperability, automatic memory management, exception handling mechanism, and code access security. Unmanaged code that has written before the development of .NET, for which MSIL is not available, that is also not executed by CLR directly. Rather, CLR redirects the code to OS for execution to know as a managed code. The execution process is known as unmanaged code execution. CLR will not provide any facilities or features of .NET to the unmanaged code execution like language interoperability, automatic memory, exception handling mechanism, and code access security, etc. Examples of unmanaged code are COM components, which we have discussed in our previous video. Please check it out once. Common language runtime architecture. But all the managed executions is faster than the unmanaged code execution. CTS Common Type System. .NET supports many languages and every language has its own data types. One language programming language and cannot understand the other language programming language data type. But CLR will execute all the programming language. It is possible because CLR which contains its own data types which are common to all programming languages. At the time of compilations, all the language specification data types are converted into CLR's data types. This data types system of CLR, which is common to all the programming languages, is known as common type systems. In this video, in our next video, I am going to discuss about .NET program execution. Here in this video, I try to explain the common language runtime in .NET framework. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching our video. Visit us on our website, and also for more C# interview questions and Angular interview questions, visit us our YouTube channel, and also click here to subscribe to get updated videos and more updated on .NET technologies.